Hello, this is Steve from Beaute's Leatherworks, and today's project is this beautiful shoe. This is Gaziano Girling. I hope I'm pronouncing that right. These are suede, brown suede. Gorgeous shoes. Now we're going to do full leather soles and heels, JR of course. This is a blind stitch meaning that you can't see it. It's peeled back like that. It gets stitched down and then this closes back up. I'm going to do the combination heels just like you got originally. And first we're going to shampoo the uppers, clean them up first, brush them up real good. Then we're going to start taking the soles apart and replacing them. Alright, let's get started. Alright, so if I can talk. First things first. I always remove the laces, remove the insoles. Now, this is the product I'm going to use. Lincoln Easy Cleaner. Let's move that mic wire out of the way. Lincoln Easy Cleaner. Okay. Now, what I do is I basically get in a small spray bottle, and it's 50-50 mixture. I dilute it a little bit. As you can see, just saturate the surface. Get a nylon bristle brush. Now, if there's any areas that have some stains on it, I'll take a wire brush and brush it up. Make sure you saturate the surface, the entire surface. Suede is very finicky. Suede needs to be wet throughout so it doesn't leave a watermark. So make sure if you're going to spray it, spray the entire surface. It's an old wire brush. Now you got to be careful with wire brushes because what happens is that you can damage the suede, okay? Because if you're brushing too hard, you're going to scratch the surface of that. So you got to be careful not to do too much damage. After all, you're trying to clean it, right? You're trying to make it better. You don't want to make it worse. Like for example, here, see where inside the tongue area where the laces have crushed the suede? That's just normal because when something rubs against suede continuously, it's going to crush it down and it's going to get a shiny surface. Just a hair, the nap on the leather is basically crushed down and it looks like it's a stain, but it really isn't. That's it. We're going to let this sit, let it dry, and then we'll continue with taking the soles apart. Alright, let's continue. This is a English shoe, made in England. It's a beautiful design. Now, this is a fairly young company. If you guys have never heard of them, Tony Gaziano and Dean Girling. I believe they established it in 2006, if I'm not mistaken. It's a beautiful shoe. This is a fiddle waist. If you guys have never heard of that company, check them out. Very high-end shoes. think there's different tiers though of the shoes, like bespoke, custom making, and made to order and stuff like that. Alrighty then. I should get my old tools together before I start videotaping, right? I never do. I know they're on my table somewhere. I have a heel prior is what it's called, but sometimes I use this chisel too. The heel base comes off. Very secure. We're going to reuse that. It's not in bad shape. Now this fiddle waist is not very easy to do. Okay. But I'm up for the challenge. I've done a few in the past. Cool. Look at that. Nice. Like butter. This is a 270 degree welted shoe, which means that it starts from here, goes all the way around here. It doesn't go all the way around. The welt doesn't go all the way around. If it did, that would have been a 360 welted shoe. This isn't bad. It's just this. It's just a different style. That's all. Come off. Now you see this plastic right here? This plastic basically was covered throughout the whole shoe. When they finish the bottom, when they finish the shoe, they take a small little tool that's hot, not this one, but a similar one, and they run it right on the edge right here, which basically cuts the plastic off and comes off. That's just to protect the uppers during the process of making the shoe. Because again, you don't want to damage the shoe when you're making it. I'm sure it happens sometimes, but that would be a no-no. All right. I mean, taking a look at this cork, it doesn't seem that bad, but I'm going to replace it anyway. Might as well. I mean, we've got it all apart. It's just something that you can try to cut corners, but it's not really... I mean, it's just a piece of cork, right? Might as well you have it apart and get rid of it and put new ones on there. So, I mean, a level of this restoration or repair, whatever you want to call it, you don't want to take those little shortcuts. Okay. All right, let's continue. All right, now that we've got the cork in there, now what gives it that fiddle waist is a piece of leather, basically just giving it a hump. And once the leather sole comes on, it gives it a nice shape like that. Now, of course, we're going to use JR soles. Okay, now look at the difference in the thickness. It's almost double the thickness. I think it'll be all right. Add a little bit of body to it. I could use a thinner sole, but I want it to be able to last a long time. I mean, these lasted a long time also. You got to remember that this type of a shoe, it's not an everyday shoe like my Alden Indies, which I abuse. so it's not going to be worn too much. Yeah, I'm sure if it becomes a favorite, the customer will wear it a lot, but not an everyday shoe. So I'm sure the thin soles that the manufacturer put on lasted for many years. Had no issues with that. So, but we're just going to make it a little bit more durable. I mean, there's not much to improve on the shoe itself. It's a beautiful shoe. It's not for everybody. It's, you know, it's the European style type with a narrow toe, longer toe. It's not for everybody. I like it. Alright, we're not going to watch the glue dry, even though it sounds exciting, but we're just not going to, okay? Okay? Okay. Alright, let's continue. Alright. Now, a lot of people last time got a little upset at me because there was no hammer time in the last video. So I'm going to give you guys some hammer time. Alright. Gotta find the sole. Ah, there it is. Now we're going to wet this sole down because we want it to contour the same shape as the fiddle waist, right? Bend that in half a little bit like that. See that? It gives it a little bit of curve. Sometimes the stamp is not in the center. I mean, yeah, it needs to be visually. It's not a structural problem, but it's always good to have that logo center of the sole. Just makes it look a little better. Sometimes it's off center. Oh, there's the wire again. What the heck, man? Stay away. Yeah, it's always, I always complain to my colleagues whenever they do that. So they wait for the opportunity for me to mess up like that and to point that out. Hey man, that stamp, that logo is not centered. How dare you? Anyway. It's hammer time. Oh Lord, I cracked myself up. Oh, I didn't show you guys, basically, you know, remember the old stitches we have to take it out of the welt? Yes, I did take that out. I didn't skip that. I didn't skip that. Beautiful. Beautiful. Alright, it's getting there, right? It's looking good. I think we're going to have to color the uppers just a little bit once we get to that stage. It's almost like a rust color. I darken it up just a little bit. Basically what I'm doing here, I'm pressing the welt and the sole together to get rid of the air pockets. Now there's a machine called 5-in-1 that does that. I don't like using that because it marks the bottom of the soles. I'd prefer not to use that. I'll do the back part of the heel to show you guys that the mark leaves. Let me see if I can turn this around and show you guys. So this is the 5-in-1, right? It presses the welt, skives it, cuts it. So basically, this is what the bottom of the shoe looks like. You see those marks? I hate those marks. I hate them with a passion. So imagine if those marks were all the way around, and it would look like crap. No way, no way. Now, however, I do use the cutter, okay? Because sometimes it's easier to cut this thick leather More hammer time. Let's see. Now, at the end of the video, I'm going to have some bloopers for you guys. Embarrassing. Just a little bit of malfunctioning here and there, that's all. Look, it's not like I got a studio here, right? I don't. It's my workshop. And I don't have these fancy tripods, fancy whatever you call them, lighting and this and that, editing programs and this and that. What you see is what you get. That's it. So things tend to happen sometimes. Okay, alrighty then. Okay, this one's ready too. Not bad. We're gonna wrap this a little later so we can protect it. So while we're working on the edge of the soles and stuff. All right, let's continue. Voila. Cool. Now back to the heel base. We can't leave those nails in there. We gotta take them out. Now some people do, they leave them in there, they'll cut them off and then hammer them back down. But the problem is that you get to put a set of new ones on there, and what happens is that now there's tons of nails into the heel base. Now I cut the tips off the nails so it'll be flat surface to hammer them down, in case you guys are wondering what I was cutting. Now they come out from the other side, you see? Is it still whitewashing still, man? I got the camera up high. I gotta get this camera angle right. Now it's helped. I've kind of angled the camera downwards a little bit because I've got these fluorescent lights up here. They're LED lights and it's bright. And it's a lot of whitewash from the top surface. But I think it's gotten better. I'll work with that. 1,000 people made comments. I mean, I'm exaggerating, 1,000. Okay, 10 people. Hey man, you got whitewash, you can't see the details. I know. I should just put a disclaimer when I'm editing the video. I know about the whitewash, okay? Don't say it again. I appreciate you guys commenting, really. Sometimes I do things I don't realize that I'm doing it, and if you don't tell me, then I won't be able to fix it. So I appreciate that. You know I'm kidding with you guys, right? You know I'm kidding with you, right? You especially. The one you got offended. I know you did. I heard you. Alright, let's continue. Alrighty then. Let me show you guys something. This is basically for painting houses. Edge lock is what it's called. Now you can use it for other things, you know. You don't have to use it for a house. I use it for my protecting my shoes. Basically, it's the blue tape, painter's tape, I think is what it's called, and it's attached to a plastic piece. Can you still not see it? Just have to lower that down a little bit, and I put it around the shoe. It'll look like something like this. I'll waste you more time. This way everything's protected. Now you got to work on the edges. Let's continue. Alright, here goes nothing. God, I hate that noise. That's how you do blind stitch. The start of a blind stitch anyway. Basically we're just kind of splitting that leather and lifting it up. I'm going to stitch it and glue it back down. That's what we call a blind stitch. Now some people will do, they'll do from the top, right? Like maybe like 1/8 of an inch from the edge, they'll do from the top and peel it up. But the problem is with that, well, it's not a problem, it's just another way. When you glue it back down, you're going to see that line going all the way around. I mean, I've done it like that before, but I choose to do it this way. I like it better this way. This is pretty nerve-wracking, you know, because what you've got, leather is natural, right? It's going to have some areas that are tighter fibers than others, and sometimes if it comes to the loose fiber, it just kind of, the knife, as you heard, it just kind of, you know, then your heart skips a beat because you don't want to cut from the top. It'll look very unsightly if you do that. And there she goes. That's all she said. So I'm going to show you guys what I use to peel this back. It's kind of cool. It's not like my invention or stuff like that. I just thought it was a cool idea that I would use that particular item for other than what it was intended for. All right, let's continue. So this is an edge iron, okay? Edge iron meaning that basically you heat this up, and when you're putting the edges on the sole, it heats up, you put wax on it. Now this is a round edge iron, right? Which if you have a round edge sole, it makes it nice and shiny. It's basically burnishing the edges. Well, I use it for something else. All right, loud noise coming up. What it does, because it's curved, right? As I'm pushing that edge of the sole on there, it pushes that leather piece back and curves it into the shoe. That way I have room to, you know, to stitch it. It will be out of the way when I'm stitching it. It's kind of cool, I think. All right, let's continue. Not too shabby. Nice. All right, let's continue. This cord is getting annoying. It's the mic cord. We're gonna work today. I'm talking to the camera with all the bloopers I'm gonna put up to you guys. Cool. And now the stitches are hidden. They are hidden, I tell you. I promise you they're in there. Alright, let's continue. Alright, now the fun part begins. After we stitch it, glue this down, and trim it on the machine, we take a sandpaper that's 1500, okay, and basically just do this, for about 20 minutes or so. And we wet that down. Just a sponge with water on it. We wet it down. And this is what we do. Now I don't do this for all the shoes. This is the top tier of the work, the type of work. Yeah, it's due to because it is a high-end shoe and you want to make it as smooth as possible around the edges. Now what some people do, they'll sand the edges. I don't really like to do that much because right here at the edge of it there's a little lip. There's a little, it's raised. It's a little lip right on the edge. If you sand it on the machine, then you're going to lose that lip. I like that lip. And when it gets done, it's going to, you'll see it. Now I notice things like that, you know, but I don't know if the basic consumer will know that, but that's how I finish my soles, with that little lip on the edge. Alright, I won't bore you for 20 minutes, okay? Let's continue. Right. Now you guys see that bead right there? That's what I'm talking about. Okay. Now, should I show you the bottoms? Now what you saw originally was the traditional, right? Just like a V shape here, black and tan there. Well, I like to give it some pop, you know what I mean? Just a little pop. And ba-dow. What y'all think? Look good? A little different, huh? Cool. Alright. Alright, enough of the show. So now we get to attach the top lift, attach it to the shoe, sand it, remove the plastic cover, hit it with a little bit of color on the suede, and maybe the water repel it, and then we are done with this project. Alright, let's continue. Alright, we are getting to the last few details of this job. These are just some brass nails I put in here, like the original heel head. I think it's mainly for decoration, you know. I pre-punched those holes because it would have been, well, not impossible. I always throw the word impossible out. Anything's possible. This is basically, it's a lot harder to put the nails in there if you don't pre-punch them, you know, because they're so small. You got to hold it and hammer it. This way, when the hole's already there, just put it in the hole and just push it through. Getting there, slowly but surely. A couple more details left and we'll be ready to go. Alright, let's continue. So what y'all think? Nice, huh? Beautiful shoes. I think they turned out pretty good. Man, it sure gives it a pop, doesn't it? Alright. Well, thank you for joining me once again with another project. I appreciate it. This was almost a $500 job. It's a beautiful shoe. This is going to add many, many years to the life of the shoe. I think I'm happy with it. I think it turned out pretty good. I tinted the color a little bit. I know I didn't show you guys a couple of steps, but I tinted the color a little bit just to make it a little more brown. It was more of a like a medium brown. Cool. All right. I'm glad you guys joined me one more time. So, as you know, comment, share, subscribe, hit the thumbs up button, hit the bell notification so you know if I upload a video you'll get notified, and many more videos to come up. So I appreciate it again. Thank you very much. And oh, if you have any questions, please email me at the address right there. Also, some of you guys are asking me about my information, like where's your shop located, or what's your email address. Okay, all the information is on the main page, Beaute's Leatherworks on YouTube. If you kind of scroll on the top, it'll say about. Well, it has all the information there. My shop number, my shop name, address, everything that you need to know, it's there. Okay. All right. We'll see you again next time. Take care. Camera doesn't fall down. There it was. Fell down. This is... All right, we're going to skip all that. Sorry. You know? There goes the camera. I'm still here. Yes, I am. Don't worry. I ain't going nowhere. Hey, there you guys are. I swear I got a nice setup here. Hey. How you doing? I thought I'd show you guys the shoe from like the bottom of the shoe, and you know what I'm saying. Oh, Jesus Christ. You know, I gotta get a better setup. You know what I mean? Did I tell you guys that I gotta get a better setup? Well, now you can't hear me because the microphone's on. Alright, that's it. That's it. That's